There is a moment every leader reaches when waiting feels responsible, but hesitation is quietly making decision for you. And if you are a founder, a CEO, that moment is costing you more than you realize. Not because you're weak, not because you're unprepared, but because no one is carrying the weight with you. That's what leadership looks like when certainty is gone. I spent 20 years as an elite paratrooper in the French Foreign Legion. And I've made decisions where hesitation meant people didn't come back. And what surprised me the most outside of the army was this. Business leaders freeze for the exact same reasons soldiers do. Not because they don't care, but because the cost of being wrong falls on them alone. In the next few minutes, you will understand why hesitation shows up exactly when stakes rise, and why confidence disappears at the top, and how leaders regain clarity when reassurance no longer exists. This is not motivation, this is leadership when pressure is real. We are taught that leadership is about preparation, about plan, about data, about clarity. But the most important moment never arrives when you feel ready. In the Legion, mission changed mid-air. Intelligence was incomplete and conditions were hostile. You acted anyway. Not because you were certain, but because waiting would have caused more than inappropriate action. Courage is misunderstood. Courage is not bravado. It is not certainty. It is not fearlessness. Courage is exposure without guarantee. In judo, you step on the mat knowing you might lose. But you bow anyway. You engage anyway. Leaders who wait to feel confident never actually lead. And the ones who matter show up while still afraid. During one of my jump sessions, the conditions were wrong. The wind unstable, visibility poor. Every instinct wanted to delay, but delay would expose others. So the decision was not, is it safe? The decision was, who pays if I don't move? Leadership is choosing who carries the cost. Most leaders don't fail because they make bad decisions. They fail because they want shared responsibility without shared consequences. They want consensus protection, moral cover, and shared blame. But leadership begins the moment you say, this is mine. Everything rises and falls on leadership. But leadership rises only when someone steps forward without permission. Here's the truth most leaders avoid. Leadership begins the moment certainty disappears, when clarity is partial, when outcomes are unknowable, when reassurance is gone. In combat, in sport, and in business, hesitation costs more than mistakes, because mistakes can be corrected, and lost momentum rarely is. Showing up now doesn't mean reckless action. It means acting without emotional cover. No applause, no permission, no guarantee. Standing when silence feels safer. Deciding when waiting feels responsible. This is the cost of leadership no one talks about. The leaders I work with all say the same thing. I don't need motivation, I need clarity under pressure. That's the difference between people who consume content and people who seek guidance. Showing up now is not a personality trait. It is a skill. As any skill, it can be trained, it can be refined, and it can be embodied. If you are waiting for certainty, you are already late. If you are waiting for permission, you are already following. Leadership begins the moment you decide, I'll show up now. Even without certainty, even without applause, even without cover. If this resonated, it is because you are leading where decision actually matter. This channel is not about motivation. It's for leaders who need clarity. When pressure removes certainty,